Hey, what's up, YouTube? RaziRantz again. I apparently have a lot to say on this subject because I've recorded this video like 3 times and all of them have been extremely long. So I'm trying to record it again so it won't take as much of your damn time to listen to it. So anyway, the Halloween party was great. Everybody loved Man Shown, enough said. Had a good time. Went over to a friend's house afterwards. We got Taco Bell and stuff. It was pretty funny. We had a good time. But I was leaving this morning. I was checking some social media shit, and a friend of mine posted something about, like, it was just this long rant, and I asked her if it was cool if I made a video about it. She says it's fine. So, but yeah. So as you can see from the title, I call it "Tripping All Over Yourself." And what I mean by that is when you like someone, but they don't like you back, you just basically flip your shit. You start tripping. And the only thing I can say that really causes it is that sort of, is just the feeling of, why not me? And why can't I have you? Or something like that. So, to give an example, I actually got this phrase from the friend that I hung out with, because she wrote something about it when she started liking the guy that she's interested in now, and a couple guys just flipped their shit and just came at her like, why won't you be with me, and what the fuck, and blah blah blah. So I want to say this is a situation that my friend's going through, where this particular guy is just being a huge douchebag for no fucking reason other than she won't give him the time of day that he thinks he deserves. But he's not doing anything to actually show that he deserves the time, because the only time, at least from my perspective, that I've seen that he's been around her, he's either being a complete ass or he's doing something sneaky. And I had talked to her, she told me some things, and I was just like, I hope he has good intentions with that, because I think he's just doing these things to sway you into his arms as opposed to actually caring for you. And I'm not gonna say that I was right, but just with this recent happening, it seems like I was, where she gave him a bunch of attention after he said those nice things. He attempted to help her or show that he cared or whatever, and now he's being a huge twat because she won't give him the attention that he thinks he deserves. And there's nothing positive about tripping over yourself about somebody, because basically when you're doing it, you're not doing anything but hurting the person that you're interested in. And I'm a victim of this too. I've been on both sides of the spectrum, where I've had people trip over themselves over me, and I've had, my fair share of tripping over someone else. I mean, hell, even with the current situation, the girl that I like, I trip over myself about her liking this other guy. And as I mentioned in my friend zone video, that she told me that, she just wants to be friends, but you just kind of get this thought in your head as to like, why not me, And I'm kind of an ass, as I've mentioned, so I look at the guy and I'm just like, I don't get it. I look at her and I look at him and I'm like, I don't see why you'd be interested. But it's not for me to determine, but it's that curiosity that I think kills the cat, basically. Because you have an image of yourself and you have what you see from the other person. So she likes this other guy, and though she's not, dating him or whatever, just the fact that he holds more of her interests, he has a bigger place in her heart than I do, regardless of what I've done for her, it drives me fucking crazy. So all I can do is just sit there and just be so cynical about the situation, and instead of letting it go. And with the recording of this video so many times, I just kind of came to the conclusion that it just needs to be one-to-one. Like, I can't do that to myself, and I can't do that to somebody that I care about, because essentially when you're acting like such a dick, like the guy, aforementioned guy is, all you're doing is attacking the person that you supposedly love and want to be with. So if you care about them so much and you want them to be with you, why would you come at them in such a negative way? Like, why do you? Because basically, when you're tripping over yourself, you're trying to make the person feel bad. That's pretty much the point. And like I said, even with the current situation, I'm guilty of it. I'm not gonna blame it on the alcohol. I love that song, but I'm not gonna blame it on the alcohol. I mean, we were both drinking, and I typically try to keep things bottled up. And that's one of the reasons why I started doing these videos, because I don't want to keep it bottled up, because all it does is just hurts me and I continuously dwell on it. So I feel like if I get it off my chest and put it in such a public forum where people can see me as what I am, and see my train of thought and whatnot, maybe I'll feel better. So, we were drinking, and I'm not gonna say I completely flipped my shit, but I kind of flipped my shit. And I made her feel really bad, and it wasn't right to do that, and I apologized afterwards once I sobered up, because I know the alcohol kind of made me get the loose lips, because they call it liquid courage for a reason. Like, I didn't want to say the shit that I wanted to say to her, but after that drink I was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and tell her that this is how I feel and that I'm upset about it. And it didn't really get me anywhere. If anything, it just pushed her further away from me. So you know what I mean? So it's like, if you're in a situation with someone where you feel like you're about to start tripping and falling and just fucking shit up, you kind of need to stop, because if you want the person to realize that you're good for them or whatever, attacking them and making them feel guilty for their choices and throwing shit in their face is obviously not going to be the fucking way to do it. And it's also another thing where, if you do something for someone, if you, like, as I mentioned before, as I mentioned before, you're broke and you're hungry, so I buy you food. You can't pay a bill, so I lend you the money to do it. You need help with something, so I help you. Or you want some sort of companionship, and I'm there for you. And then after doing all those things, you still don't see me in the light as of like boyfriend, even though I'm saying that I like you. And it's not just because I'm saying that I like you that you need to be with me, but it's because often in my case, you're sitting there telling me that you wish more men were like me, and shit like that. So I have this mentality, like, instead of wishing men were like me, or wishing that your shitty boyfriend loved you the way I do, or wishing that not all men are dogs and stuff like that, like, why don't you just be with the guy that isn't like that? You know what I mean? Like, why look for someone like me when you can just have me? So that's the mentality. But so that's generally where I start to trip, because I get a lot of that shit. And so I'm at a point in my life where I feel like my fucking happiness in relationships has run its course, and I'm probably going to record another video about that, because that's what took the video so long the last time I recorded it. So anyway, as I was saying, it's just got to be one-to-one. If you're not gonna, I'm in the state now where if I'll show you interest, and if you're not going to return it, then I'm going to stop showing you interest. If I'm flirting with you and you're not flirting back, I'm not going to flirt. If I'm trying to talk to you and you don't respond, then I'm not going to talk to you. You come to me with that shit. And it's just a big prevention of tripping, because I can tell you with the current situation, my current situation is that, like I said, I like the girl a lot. She's beautiful. I think she's fucking borderline perfect. Like I said, perfect for me. Maybe not perfect for other people, but perfect for me. And so, when I see her liking the other guy, or giving him attention, or just, post something about him and that he's tagged in it, or just anything like that, it just kind of like triggers something in my mind where I get upset. And I don't want to do that, because all it's going to do is just make me bitter and even more cynical, and I'm already cynical and jaded as shit. So I don't need to be doing more of it, you know what I mean? So yeah, that was just something I figured I should talk about after talking to her. Was a lot of people trip, and the only thing I can say is, if you feel like you're tripping, just find a crutch and hold yourself up and stop, because all you're doing is just hurting the person that you supposedly love. And then if someone's doing that to you, like, understand how they feel, but don't take it, you know, because she stood up for herself with the other guy, and I was happy about that. And when we were going back and forth with our thing, you know, she asked me to stop, and I stopped, and it was like, okay, you know, and then once I like calmed down, I was like, you know, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that stuff. I try and keep that stuff bottled up and everything. It's not good for me to keep it bottled up, but I didn't want to attack her, so I'm glad that she stood up to all parties that are tripping over her. And you essentially just got to do what you want to do. I mean, if you don't like someone, you don't like someone, but you definitely just on the spectrum of you're the one taking the abuse, like, because it's abuse. So you're the person receiving the abuse. You need to stand up for yourself and tell the people to go fuck off. You know, sometimes things aren't worth salvaging. You know, person can be a great friend, and that's I think that's the realization I'm coming to, is like, I'm a great friend to you. I want to be more, but you don't want that, so I say things and I'm making you feel bad and making you feel guilty for some shit that you supposedly did to me in your actions of not being my girlfriend or something like that. But you don't need to be taking that consistently. So like, if I can't shut the fuck up, then you don't need to be my friend. Like, it's not worth salvaging, you know? She's gonna watch this. I'm not saying this so you stop talking to me. But I'm saying it as like a hypothetical, you know? And if you're the person that's doing the tripping, you need to realize that you're not gonna get anywhere with it, you know? Because essentially, like I said, I like the girl and I want to be with her and stuff, so everything I want to do, everything I do with her that's meant to sway her into my arms should be positive. There shouldn't be any guilt trips, any like, you said this and you didn't hold up your end of the bargain, or you owe me's, or whatever, you know what I mean? It should be just pure, like, I'm showing you that I'm a good guy, you know, take it or leave it. And that's the end of it, basically. So don't trip.